Well, once again, Superman&Lois continues on giving a fairly decent show. It's amazing. Yeah, there's some ripples here and there that I'm worried about, but so far, so good. And they managed to do a pretty good show that's hardly any Superman at all. He immediately, they're still dealing with that portal in the mine, and Superman dives into it to go deal with this problem is, and they don't see him for a whole month. So he's missing in action. Lois has to cook up some story that, Clark's doing a special project for, I guess, the Daily Planet or something. He's in Metropolis, so, yeah. Well, so the story goes forward with all their other elements, and a lot of that is very soap opera in nature, and yet they just do it so much better. CW is just, full of that stuff, and that's primarily what you've got is a bunch of soap operas masquerading as superhero shows, and it's so watered down now that that's pretty much all there is, and at worst, it's just a repetitive nature of the same conversations over and over again about feelings and not believing in yourself and all that type of stuff. Yet here they actually have definitive narratives that they've brought in here that, granted, is still very much a soap opera. I mean, you've got Lana Lang's family's breaking up because she found out her husband cheated on her, so they're split up, and she's pursuing her race for mayor and all that sort of thing. And their oldest daughter is sort of caught in between, and now she's feeling bad. She was angry with her father, but now she's pretty much forgiven him. She misses him, and she's feeling bad because he's not doing great. He's doing his job with being the fire chief and everything, and he nearly dies in trying to put out a fire. And there was this fire tornado inside the building. I'm not sure what that was supposed to I guess it's indicative of something. But at this point, Jordan, with Dad still missing, decides to step up. His superhero hearing is getting better and better, and he's hearing all this stuff about places in trouble and all that. And so he dashes over there. He uses his hoodie to disguise himself, which isn't much of a disguise. But, in the speed of the event, I guess it works out. And plus, Kyle was knocked unconscious and all this stuff. So he saves Sarah's dad. And then Steele shows up to lend a hand. He didn't know that Jordan was there. And he says, "You need to get back home." And he's like, "Okay." So he does. And he's all, excited and happy about what he did. And he's still training with Grandpa, Sam, and all that. But he didn't really have permission from Mommy. And so Steele, Henry Irons says he's, he understands the deal. So he's got to go tell Lois, "Look, your boy is stepping out as a Superboy, So, she has to discipline him and all this stuff. And then gets the reveal that her father has been secretly training him, and he makes the case it's got to be done. He needs to understand his powers and control them and learn how to fight and all this sort of stuff. And that's what he's been doing, and it's working. He's getting better and better at harnessing what he can do. And he more or less leaped, but it was getting close to where he flew out of the building. So he's getting more and more powerful. And so meanwhile, there's the whole XK thing going on. So Lois is an investigative reporter. Her dad comes along for the ride, and Jordan pushes and pushes and says, "All right, you can go. You can come. But you stay in the car until we say," and of course they get captured. And so Superboy has to come and rescue them, which he does very well. And he learns, and this is a cool scene they do, where one of the crooks, he's obviously on XK, so he's got heat vision, and he fires it at Jordan. But Jordan, without even realizing it, has gone into super speed to avoid it, and to him, everything looks like it's slowed down. So he's able to just step away from the I-beams, and then he flattens this guy. So he did good, and he saves his mom and his grandpa and all that. Now, the way, of course, Lois found out about this place through finally getting Jonathan to come forward. He manages to work a deal through Sam, Grandpa Sam, that if she steps forward, we'll protect her, and she won't, she'll get some immunity here in further prosecutions of all this drug running. So his girlfriend comes in and explains everything, but when Lois finds out it's his girlfriend, boy, you're not good enough for my boy. She already caught them in bed together and stuff, so she's already, I don't like this girl. So there they are. But that's how they find out. So it's just that kind of stuff. They just do it well. They do it better than the other shows, and it's credible and believable within their performances and all that stuff. And then later on, the girlfriend, boy, I was really scared of your mom. He's like, don't worry about it. Yeah. That's going to simmer for a long time. I don't know what future those two have, but... So anyway, then there's an incident. He's walking his girlfriend home, and suddenly he gets like this painful headache ping and stuff. So the XK has activated his dormant powers, I believe, and that eventually he will develop superpowers as well. And so he's not feeling so great, and so she says, "Why don't you just go home? I can, I'll be all right." So she goes, "I thought there might be, something happens to her, but and maybe they'll reveal that later, that maybe something did happen to her." But she just walks on, and he goes home, and they cut back at Smallville and deal with Jordan's all proud and happy that he achieved all this. And then he looks in the distance and says, "Oh, look, Jonathan's coming." And then they say, "Wait a minute, that's not Jonathan. It's Jonathan's double from the Dark World." And he's wearing a leather jacket and red pants, very similar to the Connor Kent Superboy character, his original look when he appeared at Reign of Superman. And so at first he's talking backwards, and he pauses for a minute and then adjusts his speech so he could... And he tells them that Superman has failed or something along those lines. And so it's a cliffhanger. We see Superman in the other world and looks like he's in danger. And fade to black. So that's it for that. So it's interesting. His double, and he's dressed up in that outfit. It will reveal further that, yes, superpowers are in Jonathan's future, since his doppelganger, he already has his powers probably. I'm guessing he didn't demonstrate any, but he's wearing the outfit, so I'm just going to assume that he's not all messed up like the Bizarro Superman was. So we'll see what that is. But this is one of these things, I can forget where I read it, was someone was suggesting that this is sort of a new way of telling the Reign of Superman story without Superman being dead. And that's pretty much spot on. You already have Steel. Bizarro Superman is kind of like, there was no Bizarro Superman in the Reign of the Superman story, but he's kind of close to that. Then you get his brother thrown in there, who kind of steps in for the cyborg Superman in a way. Not entirely, because Hank Henshaw was sort of this evil version of Reed Richards. But this difficult of course, Hank Henshaw had absolute hatred for Superman, whereas here they got the Morgan Edge character still wants to be Superman's brother and all that sort of thing. So it's sort of different, but it's another, like, this idea that there's these other versions of Superman. And then, of course, the boys becoming Superboys. So you get two instead of one. That sort of thing. And as it plays out, it looks like it's closer to that than not. So I guess it's, it's not a completely solid path, but it's, obviously takes some inspiration from it. And as for Steel, there was more between him and his daughter, and all that, in dealing with the passage of their Lois. And apparently it was the anniversary of her death on that. And John Henry Irons seemed to forget that. And she was all upset about it. And then it comes back to him and everything. But I think that might be more, I'm guessing, an indication that might be having some memory problems there that they might pursue later on. So anyway, finally, it appears Jordan and Sarah have broken up because he's never around, and can't quite tell her why. So she's had enough of it. So my guess is she'll go into the arms of her girlfriend, and then that's where that'll go. Because even when he tells her the truth, it's like she's still gonna be mad at him for not telling her. So it's a no-win situation for the poor guy. So as it is now, they broke up. So all in all, it was a good episode, even without their star character. So yeah, Superman and Lois continues on, and we'll see where it goes.